All right, good evening, everybody. At 5 o'clock, so let's call the meeting to order. Roll call, Sean Callan.
Here.
Julie Chetney is absent. Tom Chiappa.
Here.
Dave Crisafulli.
Here.
I am here. Jim McKenzie. Kristen Norfleet.
Present.
And Sean Onmock.
Here.
All right, we stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. So nobody signed up for floor to the public, so we're on to the acting superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to just share a couple of celebrations from across the district. We have a number of new administrators joining our team this summer, and I want to make sure that we welcome them all. We have Mrs. Tracy Eigner, who has started as our principal at Charles Riley Elementary School. We have here with us this evening Dr. Raina Hinman, who is our new high school principal. Jackie Beck, who joined us earlier in the year as our Director of Student Services, and Mr. Sean Morgan just joined us last week as our new Director of Data and Accountability. So we're looking forward to that new team getting to know each other and moving the district forward this year. Also want to extend some congratulations to our student athletes. The New York State Public High School Athletic Association has named Oswego High School as a school of excellence. And what that means is that 75% or more of our teams were named as scholar athlete teams. So congratulations to our athletes and their coaches and our athletic director. We applaud them if we could give them. And just one more plug, we are approximately 1 month from school starting. The first day of school for kiddos is September 6th. That's probably a little bit of shock for some of our kiddos at this point. Just want to encourage our families to frequently check the district's website for updates. Our school buildings have started posting their back-to-school information, including orientations. Our senior photos will start the week of August 21st for seniors who would like to come into the theater and have their picture taken. And finally, if you have not yet registered your kiddos for school, the registration office is open at the Ed Center from 8 to 3:30 each day. That's it.
Thank you very much. Consent agenda. So we have item A, Special Education Board Report from August 1st, 2023. Item B is the Claims Audit Report, June 2023. C, Treasurer's Consolidated Report, June 2023. D, the OHS Extra Classroom Report for June 23. E is the Middle School Extra Classroom Report from June 23. F is our Board of Education minutes from July 18th. G is the Board of Education minutes from July 20th, special meeting. And H is our Board of Education meetings from the other special meeting on July 26th. So is there a motion, please?
I'll move it.
Thank you, David. Is there a second? Thank you, Kristen. Any discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so we have the first readings of the policy. So policy A, or I should say, A is policy number 7150, remote instruction. Policy 6130, the evaluation of personnel. C is policy 6550, leaves of absence. Policy D is policy 7670, due process complaints. E is policy 7530. So is there a motion for the first reading of those policies?
I'll move it.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kristen. Any comments, discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. So we have one policy for a second reading, that's policy 7522, concussion management. If I can have a motion, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. There's a second.
Second.
Thank you very much. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Personnel, Bob.
Hello, everybody. Under item A in personnel, we do have an administrative retirement, and this is for Penny Morley, who has served the students and staff of Oswego City School District as Dean of Students, starting on October 7th, 2019. She will be retiring, but she's put in a year ahead, so this is not effective till July 8th, 2024. So we'd just like to recognize her there. So item A as presented.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. A
I'll
second?
second.
Thank you, Kristen. Any discussion? Heard none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Items B through E, we have professional staff recommendations for resignations. We have leave of absence, probationary teacher recommendations, probationary teaching assistant recommendations. So items B through E as presented.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Thank you, David. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries.
Next grouping, we have items F through J, which are support staff recommendations for resignation, leave of absence, probationary appointments, provisional appointments, and for permanent appointments. So items F through J as presented.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move it.
Thank you, Sean. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kristen. Any discussion? Having heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
And lastly, items K through M, we have substitute and temporary employee recommendations. We have extended school year, extra compensatory recommendation. And lastly, the extra compensatory position recommendations at Minetto for this school year. So items K through M as presented.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion? Thank you, Kristen. Is there a second?
I'll second.
We'll go with David.
Okay.
All right, any discussion? Heard none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Word of Finance, Nancy.
Items A and B. A is for the establishment of a scholarship for the Paradox Arts and Literacy for the yearbook. And B is our agreement with industrial unemployment as a third party for our unemployment claims as presented.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Tom. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, David. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you very much, Matt and Casey as well. And thank you for the yearbooks also. I know that's outside of this, but thank you very much. It was great to see them, and I had not known it was our centennial year, so it was wonderful to see, and it was a great job. So thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, items from the board. Anybody like to start?
Yeah, I have a couple. Oh, Tom?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I just have a couple. One, I'd ask the board if we could consider the establishment of board liaisons. It's something that another board member had brought up, but a board liaison to each of our 7 schools. So each one of us be aligned and kind of be in touch with administration in each one of our schools. So I'm just asking the board to maybe consider that and put that in place as we go into our new school year. Certainly, nothing needs to be determined tonight. Secondly, through the establishment of our facilities use form and community groups using our facilities and some of the groups having to pay for our facilities, I think it's important that we continue to measure what level like, are they painted? Are they mowed? What are the expectations that we're going to hold on what we're doing on our end if we're asking community groups to pay for our facilities? I have had a couple families reach out to me concerned, not really with necessarily paying for the use, but when they went there and you're practicing lacrosse, that there's no lines or the grass isn't cut, or there's definitely some huge holes, specifically on Turl Street. So I think that that's something that we need to look at if we're going to put that out there. Make sure we're holding up on our end on what the facility looks like. And lastly, I remember last year, especially as it surrounded athletics, and not only in the Oswego City School District, but neighboring districts, busing was a big thing, meaning that there were a lot of difficulties, lack of human resources. So before September 6th, when we get back in the swing of things here, I was wondering if we could get an update on what we've done and where we're at as far as corrective action, not necessarily corrective action, but our process and where we are and where we're headed as far as improvement over last year. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Anybody else?
Yeah, I just want to say, I went to the NISBA convention this past weekend down in Albany and did cover the topics that I could get to. It was great. In the future, I'd like to be able to bring back and give a little report on it, on some of the topics that we discussed. It was great to go and see other districts from throughout the state. You realize you're not alone relative to all the issues we're facing here. They're facing there as well. The topics that came up were very similar relative to discipline, relative to absenteeism, relative to the practices that are utilized. So I'd love to be able to talk about that. And the other thing I'd like to do in the future, if we can, have a discussion about creating a public relations committee, potentially having a public relations committee to disseminate the information that we have, the positive things in the school, but then also anything that we discuss or implement that the public would need to know about as well, that we have that as a vehicle to use. So those are the two things.
Anybody else? So just to follow up on, what Sean mentioned about liaisons, and Tom just mentioned about a community group, a subdivision that helps interact with the community, not only giving information, but also helping to be receiving information. I think these are two of the things that this board would likely discuss as part of our annual goals. So I know we have a workshop coming up August 23rd, I believe, for a capital update. I think we should also be looking to plan a separate workshop to build our goals. And I'll be in touch through Diane to try to figure out when would be the best time to set that up, because I think these kind of dovetail as things that would be things we do to reach some of those other goals that I think we may be looking for. So thank you both for bringing that up. Does anybody else have any other items from the board? Okay, so there is need for an executive session to discuss matters of personnel. There will not be a vote required. So can I have a motion to move to executive?
Motion.
Thank you, Kristen. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I heard Sean first. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Thank you very much, everybody.